up in a white room. There are no windows, no doors, just walls lined with shelves, stretching from the floor to the ceiling, all of them packed with identical, leather-bound books. In the center of the room, there's a simple table. On it, you find 3 items: a pen, made of steel, heavy in your hand, and strangely warm to the touch. A blank journal, its pages thick and unlined, carrying the faint, metallic scent of iron. And finally, a small note, written in an elegant, flowing script. It reads, "Begin where you left off. You don't remember being here before. You have no memory of writing in this place, of this room, of these books. But as you pick up the pen, your hands seem to disagree. They know the weight of it. They know the feel of the thick paper beneath your fingertips. Your body remembers what your mind has forgotten. A shiver crawls up your spine, a cold dread that has nothing to do with the temperature of the room. Your eyes are drawn to the nearest shelf, to one book among the thousands that seems to call to you. You pull it from its place, the leather smooth and cool against your skin, and there, etched on the spine in gold leaf, is your name. Your breath catches in your throat. Your heart hammers against your ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the oppressive silence. With trembling fingers, you open the book. The pages are almost completely full, covered in a familiar handwriting that you slowly, horribly recognize as your own. You read words you don't remember writing, detailing events you can't recall living. It's a story, a life, documented in excruciating detail. Your life, but it's filled with gaps, with moments of terror and confusion that feel both alien and deeply personal. You flip to the last written page. The final entry ends mid-sentence, the last line incomplete, the ink trailing off as if the writer was suddenly interrupted. And that's when you understand. The pen in your hand isn't just for writing. The blank journal isn't just for notes. This room isn't a prison. It's a scriptorium. The story in the book with your name on it is your reality, and you are its author, whether you like it or not. The note on the table wasn't an invitation. It was a command. Begin where you left off. You must pick up the story, continue the narrative. But what happens when you write? What unspeakable things have you already committed to these pages? In this world, the slasher isn't a masked figure lurking in the shadows. There's no man with a knife, no monster hiding under the bed. The killer is something far more intimate, far more terrifying. It's the narrative itself, a relentless, unyielding force of inevitability that demands the story continue, no matter the cost. Every new sentence you write isn't just a word on a page. It's an action taken, a choice made. Every cut, every wound, every scream isn't just an act of violence. It's punctuation, a comma, a period, the end of a chapter. And you are the one holding the pen. The terror comes from the realization that you are both the victim and the perpetrator. The story demands progress, and progress in a horror story means suffering. The empty pages of the journal on the table don't represent freedom. They represent a future you must fill with more fear, more pain. You can try to write a happy ending, a peaceful resolution, but the scent of iron in the air, the cold steel of the pen, and the grim finality of the leather-bound books tell you otherwise. This story has rules. It has a genre, and it demands a certain kind of ending. You look at your hands, the hands that wrote the horrors in that book. They feel like they belong to someone else. You are trapped in a loop, a cycle of documentation and experience. You write the terror, and then you live it. The story documents your psychological decay, your slow attrition as you are forced to become the architect of your own nightmare. Each new entry is an act of self-harm, a cut into your own sanity. The documentation is irreversible. Once it is written, it is real. The ink is permanent, and so are the scars. What do you write? Do you try to fight it? Do you write about finding a door, an escape? Or do you know, deep down, that the story won't allow it? The narrative force is the true monster here, and it feeds on suspense, on fear, on the visceral thrill of the chase. Any attempt to write your way out might just create a new, more twisted chapter. Perhaps writing about a door only leads to a hallway of endless, identical doors. Perhaps writing about a key only creates a lock that requires a blood sacrifice to open. The shelves are filled with the stories of others who have sat in this very chair, held this very pen. Each book represents a life, a story written in fear and desperation, bound in leather, and placed on a shelf to be forgotten. Are they still writing? Or have their stories reached their final, bloody conclusion? Has their final sentence been punctuated with a definitive, fatal period? The silence of the room is your only answer, a silence heavy with unspoken narratives and dried ink. This isn't just horror. This is a story about the nature of storytelling itself, about the terrifying power of words to shape our reality. It's a clinical, psychological deconstruction of the slasher genre, where the killer is an abstract concept, and the final girl is the one who must keep writing her own torment just to survive another page. The only way to live is to continue the horror. The moment you stop writing, the moment you run out of pages, your story ends. And in this place, the end is not a release. It's a final, irreversible binding. Welcome to a new kind of fear, where the blade is a pen nib and the deepest cuts are the ones you inflict upon yourself, where every choice is permanent and the story of your life becomes a testament to your own destruction. The blank page is waiting. Your hand is steady now. You know what you have to do. You have to begin where you left off. If this idea chills you to the bone, if you crave horror that gets under your skin and stays there, then you've found your new home. Subscribe to Terrifier Stories, where the horror doesn't end your story, it binds it in leather. We explore the narratives that haunt us, the tales that rewrite our reality, and the terror that comes from the stories we tell ourselves. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because your next chapter of fear is about to begin. Thanks for watching.